So, the letter that's read in this ending, it's read in all of them. Well, except the UFO and the dog and okay, I spoke too soon. All the normal endings you can get. So this one, Maria in water, this letter is red. And this one is more happy because James is going to move on with his life. He and Laura, I assume he's going to adopt Laura because that's what Mary wanted. But yeah, so this is her forgiving him for what he did and for being so mean to him in the last couple of years of their marriage. So that 3 years he mentioned in the beginning of the game, I think has to do more with when she got sick. So she had been sick for 3 years, and during those 3 years they became distant, and she became just more and more dissatisfied with herself, upset with her situation, and the unfairness of it all, because she's pretty young. She's only in her 20s when she died. Now, in the other endings, which unfortunately I'm not going to really, I won't be able to show you, at least in this game. I could put them into my video file for you. The first one is the in water ending, in which James does not handle the goodbye very well, and he decides that he can't live without Maria. So you'll see him just pick her dead body up, and get into his car and drive into the lake.
Mary, I've got nothing. Now we can be together.
You don't actually see that, but it's very much implied, because you see water and the whole letters being read. And the next ending, the Maria ending.
That's why you needed this Maria person? James, do you really think Lincoln could ever forgive you for what you did?
I think it's probably the worst ending, in my opinion, because it is James to continue to live in his delusion, and instead he'll just move on to Maria. He'll leave Silent Hill with Maria, and you see her get into the car and she starts coughing.
Do something about that cough.
So it's sort of showing that things are going to repeat yet again. He's going to lose her to the same illness he lost Mary, and in that way, I guess you could say that Pyramid Head and the other demons in Silent Hill kind of failed at their job to make James realize his sins and what he did. Instead, he's happy to just continue on that delusion with his new and improved Mary, which I think is really sad. I mean, the in water one is sad because he committed suicide, but at least he understood what he did, and he made that choice. It wasn't just, oh well, yeah, okay, I killed Mary, but I found something better. So he kind of took Angela's way out in the in water one. Alright, we are back in the reading room, just after viewing the tape James found in the safe on the first floor office. He just realized that he's killed Mary. And we're here to pick up the last item we need for the rebirth ending, which is this book. I got a book, Crimson Ceremony. Pretty. The title is Crimson Ceremony. Speak, I am the Crimson One. The lies and the mist are not they but I. You all know that I am one. Yes, and the one is I. Believers, hearken to me, 20 men and 7,000 beasts. Heed my words, and speak them to all, that they shall ever be obeyed, even under the light of the proud and merciless sun. I shall bring down bitter vengeance upon thee, and thou shalt suffer my eternal wrath. The beauty of the withering flower and the last struggles of the dying man, they are my blessings. Thou shalt ever call upon me, and all that is me in the place that is silent. O proud fragrance of life which flies towards the heart, O cup which brims with the whitest of wine, it is in thee that all begins. So this is the last item you need in your inventory to have the rebirth ending. So basically what's going on is James found first the Book of Lost Memories, which talks about Silent Hill's past and whatnot. So let's kind of go through these all again. The name comes from the legend of the people whose land was stolen from them, Native Americans. They called this place the place of the silent spirits. By spirits they mean not only their dead relatives, but also the spirits that they believe inhabited the trees, rocks, and water around them. According to legend, this is where the holiest ceremonies took place. But it was not the ancestors of those who now live in this town that first stole the land from these people. There were others who came before. In those days, this town went by another name, but that name is now hopelessly lost in the veils of time. All we know is that there was another name, and that for some reason the town was once abandoned by its residents. Alright, so James found this book, and it talks about, ancient rituals in Silent Hill. And along his journey, he's picked up this milky white anointing oil and this ancient-looking goblet carved from obsidian. So, with all these items, he can perform the Crimson Ceremony, which will allow him to bring Mary back from death, which he only found out because he read Lost Memories. So it's a pretty cool ending. It's obviously showing that James is not willing to move on without Mary in his life. And once you have all 4 in your inventory, you will only get the rebirth ending. So with that in mind, I'm going to actually listen to the tape I mentioned before, where James learns of Mary's prognosis. That will actually help you go towards the in-water ending. I didn't listen to before because I didn't want to ruin my leave ending.
You must be joking.
I'm very sorry.
But you're a doctor. It's your job to heal people. How can you just let her die?
Please, calm down. As her doctor, I promise I'll do what I can. But there's still no effective treatment for her condition.
How long does she have?
I'm afraid I'm not sure. 3 years at most. Perhaps 6 months. It's impossible to say with certainty.
Now, what's interesting about this voiceover is we learned that her prognosis was either at most 3 years, at least 6 months. Since James came to Silent Hill, he always said that Mary had died 3 years ago, and I think he's taken that date from the date he got that prognosis from that doctor. So Mary actually was alive for 3 years, and until recently James killed her. So in his mind, she died when she first got sick with her illness. And as we heard in that hallway before we fought Maria, after the Pyramid Heads, she wasn't a very nice person to be around. The sickness kind of took its toll on her, and that's probably why James considered her dead 3 years ago, because that's when everything bad started. So let's go ahead and continue with the rebirth ending.
James.
Maria, I'm finished with you.
What? But I'm what you wanted. Mary's dead. Don't you understand? She's not coming back. But I can be yours. I'll be here for you forever. I'll never hurt you like she did. So why don't you want me?
Because you're not Mary. Without Mary, I just can't go on.
Oh, James. Come on, James. You must be joking.
You know, so this ending we don't have a last goodbye with Mary.
Mary, you look so peaceful. Forgive me for waking you. But without you, I just can't go on. I can't live without you, Mary. This town, Silent Hill, the old gods haven't left this place. And they still grant power to those who venerate them. Power to defy even death. Ah, Mary.
So he's rowing to an island in the middle of the lake. It's not accessible during the game, but people like Vetail from Alchemilla Hospital have done cam hacks with James walking basically like Jesus across the water onto this island, and there's really not much to see, just the island with a bitmap picture of a church. So he's going to this island to perform the Crimson Ceremony with the items we picked up all over town and bring Mary back to life. It's kind of I think it's a sad ending. I mean, he's not able to move on, and instead he'd rather just bring Mary probably from heaven, and she'll probably be really bummed about that. Who knows what he'll actually bring back? Who knows if it's really going to be Mary? I mean, he could be bringing some demon. But yeah, that's his choice in this ending.